Sarah, congratulations on becoming our noble elf queen. May the sacred tree's light forever shelter you. Sarah, die!
Why would you kill me?
Heiress was the daughter of a Grand Duke of the Dragon Clan, a woman of noble standing. Back in the Dragon Clan, we weren't particularly close, but we never had any bad blood between us. So why did she harbor such fierce, unhinged murder intent towards me?
Why should you get to be the exalted elf queen while I'm left to rot, abandoned in some lightless trench at the bottom of the sea? I want you dead! I want you to give all of this back to me!
I knew there was no saving my own life at that point, but I wasn't about to let Heiress off easy either. I chose to take her down with me.
If you can come back to life, I'll give up my own in exchange.
Lady Sarah, Lady Heiress, you may now choose your mates.
The sheer familiarity of the scene told me at once. Time had rewound, and I had returned, memories intact, to the very day we chose our elfin mates.
Honored Prince of the Sun Elves, I, Heiress, wish to form a mate bond with you.
In that moment, I knew for certain that Heiress had the same past life memories that I did. To select the most fitting elf king, the elves arranged marriage between their princes and Dragon Clan members. I was a princess of the Dragon Clan, and Heiress was the daughter of one of its Grand Dukes. I couldn't help sneering inwardly. Did Heiress truly think Ilian became the elf king by blood and strength? She never knew he was merely a selfish, useless fraud with nothing but good looks. The Sun Elf Sacred Tree Seed was inherently a dead seed. I am the only dragon on the continent who wields healing arts. In my past life, I used my own blood and spiritual power to nourish the seed for Ilian and grew it into an elf sacred tree. I settled conflicts among the elf clans on his behalf and elevated him to the elf throne. Ilian did nothing but play the harp, achieving absolutely nothing. In her past life, Heiress chose the Sea Elf Prince. His devotion was fake. He kept many consorts who framed Heiress. Growing tired of her, the prince abandoned her in a deep-sea threat. Heiress, consumed with envy at the sight of me as Elf Queen, finally snuck into the palace and killed me. Since Heiress was so eager this time around to throw herself right into Ilian's trap, I would graciously let her have him. I was curious to see how this time, with Ilian stripped of my help, Heiress intended to become Elf Queen at all.
Sarah, I've chosen the magnificent Prince Ilian of the Sun Elves. You wouldn't try to steal him from me, would you?
Lady Sarah, please choose your mate.
It seemed the healthy, gentle sea elf was my only reasonable option. I felt Noctis' hand trembling faintly in mine. He was afraid.
I choose Noctis, Prince of the Abyss Elves, as my mate.
How could Lady Sarah choose him? He's an Abyss Elf, forsaken by the gods himself!
That fool Sarah! Choosing that short-lived, cursed monster!
The Abyss Elves lived in Twilight Valley, a land of death exiled by the goddess of nature herself. Its forests were shrouded year-round in black fog. Any ordinary creature that ventured in wouldn't survive 3 days. Every generation of Abyss Elves bore a curse that corrupted their magic, and they were reclusive and violent by nature.
Sarah, once made, this choice cannot be undone. Are you certain you wish to choose Noctis as your mate?
I felt Noctis' hand trembling faintly in mine. He was afraid.
Noctis will be my one and only mate for the rest of my life.
Though the high priest was shocked and baffled by my determination to marry Noctis, he honored my decision all the same. By the ancient laws of the elves, the marriage was only the first step toward claiming the throne. Once the ceremony ended, the princes of the 3 elven clans had to return to their territories with their mates. They had 3 months to cultivate their clan's own sacred tree. Whoever sacred tree first bloomed with sacred light and bore the legendary elven dew would be the new god-blessed elf king.
Oh my, Lady Sarah. I heard the Abyss, this territory, never sees sunlight. It's dark, damp, and completely barren. It's such a dreadful place that even lowly magical beasts refuse to live there.
Wouldn't it be terrible if, before Prince Ilian is even crowned Elf King, you waste away first, tortured to death by that monster's curse? Flapping your lips won't make a sacred tree grow.
My pure water magic is far better suited to growing a sacred tree than anything you have. Once I grow my tree and become queen, my first order of business will be to wipe every last one of you Abyss Elkins off the map!
The Sun Clan's sacred tree seed was born flawed, its core shriveled and dead. It required an extraordinarily complex ancient elven of the purest Nakwaran circle. It also needed endless sleepless patience to repair and reshape. Ira was a spoiled, useless crybaby who fell apart at the smallest hardship. She actually thought she could grow that tree? It was nothing but a delusional fantasy. Legend said Twilight Valley of the Abyss territory was a breeding ground for sin, a final home for death. But when I actually set foot on this land, I found the truth was nothing like the story.
Let go! The Abyss curse devours every living thing that gets close to me. If you stay with me, you won't live 3 months. I know you only chose me to spite Ilian. It's not too late to turn life, Lady Sarah.
He thought I had chosen him just to get back at Era.
You!
Shut up and listen to me. I'm not doing this out of spite.
For 1,000 years, Abyss elves have been tortured half to death by this curse. Even the High Priest's light magic could do nothing against it. Your fire, it actually burns it away, just like that?
That's right. Noctis, I'm the only dragon in 1,000 years to master healing. This is my healing flame. Everyone calls the Abyss elf selves cursters months, but I better. This isn't a curse at all. It's the oldest, most immense Abyssian power in the land's lie lines. The power is too vast. Generations of Abyss elves never learned to channel it properly. It built up and ran wild in their bodies. It eventually became the terrifying Mayaba and Thorn's outsider's fear. My healing flame doesn't just things away. It can purify and tamer the overflow of Abyssan power too.
For 1,000 years, elves including their most learned high priest had viewed Abyss elves as tainted. Noctis had always believed his people were cursed, abandoned by the gods. I was the first, and the only person in this world, to see through the true nature of the Abyss curse.
If you're willing, I'd like to with you make a pact. In front of others we'll be a loving couple. In Friat, I'll help you grow the true sanctuary of the Abyss. Here are my terms. When you become Elfwing, I want the entire Abyss as my eternal Biden. I want to stand at the top of this world. I want you to submit to me.
As long as I draw breath, the Abyss Elves will be your unbreakable sword and shield. I will lead the Abyss to guard you forever, my dear Lady Sarah.
This place would be our secret base to reshape Noctis's power. It would also be the cradle for the ancient sacred tree seed.
Sarah.
No extra arrays were needed, no rigid rituals required. The most primeval, deepest union of flesh was the best bridge to channel magic. The healing process was agonizing and dangerous. As he thrust hard into me, I pushed my healing power through our linked bodies, sending every last bit flooding into Noctis. Burning the curse off Noctis with my healing flame was no different than holding him directly in fire.
If it hurts, cry out. You can bite me too, don't just tough it out.
Don't stop! Sarah, keep going! This pain is nothing. It's not even a 10,000th of what I've endured these past centuries.
Every thirst came with the pleasure washed away in a layer of the curse he'd carried for hundreds of years. Every night, I lay with Noctis in the chamber. Only this deepest union of soul and flesh let me flood every fiber of his being with my healing flame, fast and unbraced. The cursed monster the whole world had despised was gone for good. The man above me now was a sovereign of the Abyss. Free of his chains, he held power great enough to make the gods tremble.
How do you feel?
2 straight weeks of pouring out my core power without holding back, paired with such intense intimacy, had worn even my strong dragon body thin.
Stronger than I've ever been. Sarah, you gave me a second life.
Over the 3 months Noctis and I spent bound together, quietly reviving the abyss, the Sun Elf territory devolved into total absurd chaos. Even deep in the abyss, rumors of the Sun Elf's mess still reached me through contacts within elfin circles. Word had it Elian flew into a violent rage at Ira, even smashing his most prized white jade harp. Ira spent every day storming through the royal garden, red-eyed with fury. She even ordered several low-ranking Ellen gardeners whipped to vent her anger. To prepare for the upcoming Sacred Tree pilgrimage, I decided to visit the Moonlight Market on the edge of the elven capital myself. I needed to buy rare spirit-guiding crystals the abbess did not have. The pilgrimage was the critical event before the final ceremony, where every clan displayed their Sacred Tree seeds cultivation progress. Noctis was in critical seclusion, fully merging with abyssal power, so I did not bring him. I only took 2 abyssal hards with me.
Elian is a useless, good-for-nothing waste! All he does is hide in the palace playing his harp, sipping stupid early spring dew. He never lifts a finger to help, then yells at me for messing up this tiny job! This is not the queen's life I was promised!
In my past life, I thought Elian was just too proud to bother with trivial matters. Later I saw the truth. He was nothing but a selfish, lazy, worthless piece of trash. Elian bathed in the glory I won with my life, and acted like every bit of it was his birthright. Now Era was finally getting a taste of the same bitterness I once endured. And honestly, I had given Era way too much credit for intelligence. The Sun Elf seed was already in its petrified phase. Instead of finding a way to crack its stone shell, she watered it every day with frost dozens of degrees below freezing. It didn't matter if it was a sacred tree seed. Even a block of iron would crack apart under that relentless daily deep freeze. She wasn't growing a tree. She was building a 10,000-year ice coffin for the sacred tree. I had disguised my face, but the faint, warm dragon's breath clinging to me made her, a being innately aligned with cold, deeply uncomfortable.
You! The one in the cloak! What are you skulking around for? Take that hood off right now for inspection. I suspect you are a spy by the Abyss Clan. Sarah! You're alive?
Jealousy burned through Ira. Why hadn't that damned curse backfired and killed Sarah? If you're still breathing, how could I possibly be dead?
You! Don't get cocky, Sarah! At the pilgrimage banquet, you and that abyss monster will be utterly humiliated in front of every elf. Just you wait.
If she thought she would see me humiliated, she was going to be very disappointed. I would use my healing flame to burn straight through that petrified shell by force. This was the most critical step, and the most dangerous.
Go ahead. I've got you.
It was an entirely new sacred tree, fused from abysmal power and the dragon clan's primordial fire.
It worked.
Sarah, you pulled off a miracle even the gods could never do.
It's time we prepared a very big surprise for those arrogant elves.
3 days later, the Elven royal family's Sacred Tree Pilgrim banquet was held with great ceremonies at the foot of the sacred mountain. It was the stage where the 3 candidate clans would showcase their strength. The palace blazed with light. Magical crystal chandeliers scared brilliant shimmering rays across the room. Noctis wore a dark gold formal straight. His flawless features looked like the proudest masterpiece of a dark night deity, the half of his face that once an imposed power's aura that looked down upon the world. Every move he made exuded a kingly presence that compelled submission.
Is that really the ugly, terrifying abyss monster from the legends?
Could the Abyss curse have been lifted?
No way! They must be using some cheap trick to hide the truth.
I spotted Ira and Ian at a glance. Ira stared fidmily at Noctis's face. Jealousy and regret almost tore her apart inside.
How could a man this perfect end up with that bitch Sarah?
Soon, it was time for the Sacred Seed presentation segment. To hide the fact that the seed was frozen to death, Heiress used the forbidden frost dragon technique, frost sacrifice. She forced her own blood, which held the source extreme frost, into the completely dead seed. She used ice magic to create crystal clear, fake ice sacred tree that looked like a work of art. But this illusion was extremely fragile, and it carried a faint aura of ordinary people could not detect.
High Priest, fellow elves, this the sacred tree sapling and I nurtured with our heart and blood. High Priest, please examine it.
The High Priest is too old to tell this is an illusion I faked with ice magic. If I get through tonight, I can fool everyone at the ceremony. In this life, I, Ira, am the one destined to be the noble elf queen.
A small tree made entirely of ice crystal, wisping with cold air, stood before everyone. Light hit its surface, refracting brilliant, dazzling rays.
Wow, it's absolutely stunning. That's the frost dragon's water gem for you. It grew such a pure, flawless, sacred tree.
The elves who did not know the truth let out gasps of admiration.
With a sacred tree this perfect, the Sun Elves will definitely become the final Elf King.
See? Only the purest light and water magic can nurture sacred creation. That abyss monster's probably even qualified to crack a seed shell, right?
Sarah, where is your sacred tree?
How could the abyss elves possibly grow a sacred tree?
Bet their sacred tree seed never even sprouted.
Sarah, don't tell me you don't even have the courage to show your sacred tree?
I let out a soft laugh and slowly stepped forward from behind Noctis. I did not even bother to argue. I directly summoned the abyss sacred tree. A waist-tall sapling with branches and leaf in black and gold stood tall and proud. This is...
Such an immense force of life. This is a miracle. A true act of the gods.
Just then, Ira's fabricated crystal tree could not withstand the true sacred tree's overwhelming fiery life force. It finally gave way and shattered. There was a sharp, brittle crack. Before everyone's shocked eyes, the once brilliant little ice tree began cracking apart, inch by inch. Then with a splash, the crystal tree collapsed early into a puddle of icy water, wreaking decay and death. And there, laying quiet in the middle of that nutcase,
My sacred tree! How could my sacred tree just shatter?
Ira's sharp scream tore through the silence of the banquet hall. She threw herself the crystal pedestal like someone gone mad, desperately trying to piece back together her life of stone. By now, the elves had come back to themselves from their reverence for the year had burned.
It was them fake! An ice sculptor conjured with frost magic! Liars! How dare they deceive the High Priest and the entire elven race with such a shameless trick! They froze the sacred tree seed to death. They're criminals against our entire people!
If the charge of destroying a sacred seed stuck, he would not just lose his claim to the throne. He could be stripped of his rank and reduced to a slave.
That cannot be allowed to happen! You bitch! What exactly have you done? High Priest, this was all Heiress doing. She claimed the Frost Dragon's water magic could nourish the sacred tree. Behind my back, she used the dark forbidden ice tech to fake this illusion. I was completely deceived by her.
Leon, you spineless, useless coward! You dare pin all of this on me? You're the one who spent every day chasing pleasure. You're the one who kept demanding results from me when the seed started freezing over. You were standing right there watching when I tree. Now you tell you didn't know? If I go down, I'm dragging you down with me!
Enough! Pull these two disgraces to our people apart. Destroying a divine seed is an unforgivable crime. Guards, take them to the frostbound dungeon to await final judgment at tomorrow's ceremony.
Why should you?
I came back too! I should have been the one to make that tree sprout! I'm supposed to be the Elf Queen! I refuse to accept this! Sarah, you bitch! I'm going to kill you! Ah!
You think you're capable of hurting my woman?
Did you honestly think a second chance at life would let you control everything? You went out of your total loser and paved your own path straight to hell. How utterly pathetic.
You've been given a second life too!
Lord Noctis, Lady Sarah, with the arrival of the Abyss Sacred Tree, the gods have made their will unmistakably clear. At tomorrow's ceremony, the elf race will welcome a new king. The Abyss will no longer be a place of exile, but a new sacred land for our people.
All of this belongs to you, my Sarah.
All of this belongs to us.
The next morning, at the highest temple atop the sacred mountain, the three great elving clans and all their vassal tribes gathered for the final coronation ceremony. It served as both the new king's coronation and the final judgment for those who defiled the gods.
By the will of the gods, Prince Ilian of the Sun Elite's Frost Dragon era, you failed your duty to nurture the sacred tree out of ignorance, selfishness, and greed. You recklessly wield extreme cold and dark forbidden arts, destroying our 10,000-year sacred seed. For this crime, you deserve death!
No! I am the pride of the Sun Elves! I am the embodiment of light! How could I die in a place like this? That vicious frost dragon tricked me! I don't want to die!
She finally understood Sarah's past life glory never came from Ilian, only from Sarah herself. Whoever Sarah chose would be the one to become Elf King. With the sinners gone, the ceremony reached its most sacred moment.
The Abyss Sacred Tree has descended. The gods have granted their blessing. Lord Noctis, you are without question the one true king of the elves. The abyss was my prison, until you came bringing light and fire. I revere no gods, fear no death. I bow only to you, Sarah. You are my salvation, my beloved.
Will you share this supreme power and my eternal life with me?
I will, Norstis.
Sarah, my queen.
What's this?
Nothing, Sarah. Just an old scar. We've got more important things to do tonight. Forget about it.
During those 3 months in the Abyss Palace, while I'd been breaking his curse, I swore that scar had never been on his chest. A crazy thought exploded in my head.
Look at me, Noxtis. I command the healing flame. I can feel the ancient law still lingering on this. That's not some old scar. That's the back half forbidden time reversal.
Yes. I saw you die together in that sea of fire. I couldn't save you. A world without you was nothing but hell to me. I sacrificed the abyss, half my soul and half my lifespan to force time to rewind. I'd destroy that world without you just so I could go back to the day you made your choice. Sarah, I was ready for the worst. Even if you chose Ian again, this time I'd have you dragged to the abyss without hesitation, even if you hated me. But you walked towards me instead.
You're so crazy.
Sarah. My Sarah. Sarah.
Noxtis, stop with your fingers. I want you.
As you wish, my queen.
God! God!
Fuck.
Noxtis, slower.
Can't slow down, Sarah. I waited 2 lifetimes for you. I'm going out of my mind. Say my name, Sarah. Tell me who you belong to.
Noxtis, I'm yours. God, faster, harder.
God, I can't get enough of you. I'm going to lose myself in you completely.
Noxtis, I can't.
Thank you for coming back to me, Sarah.
Until the end of time, I'll be with you, no matter what.